Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from beautiful Boynton Beach, Florida here at my old home base. There's the Tiki Bar over there. I've got the Crusher over there. That's what I call my 2021 Toyota Tundra. And my newest little addition to my family is I got a little camper back there. But this here is the EUYbike, EUY, however you say it. And it was sent to me to do a review on it, and it's my favorite e-bike that I've received so far. I've gotten a few of them, and I'm going to take it out for a little ride today. I wanted to show you guys one more time. It's kind of like a moped style or motorcycle style e-bike. It's very appealing looking. It has the largest battery of any bike that I've received to date. Hydraulic brake system, a loud horn, a super bright headlight, and a very nice seat. This is not your traditional up and down adjustment. And the height of the bike, it's a 20-inch bike with 4-inch wide tires and a very handsome red in the rim there. It has the 7-speed Shimano gear changer. But those aren't really something that you use on e-bikes because they're not meant to really pedal, because they're a very heavy bike. This one weighs, let me see, 75 pounds, I think, with the battery. So when you remove the battery to put it in the back of your vehicle or in a truck, like I do in the back of my Tundra, it makes a big difference in the weight by removing the battery, because this battery is the largest battery I have ever received on an e-bike. It's a 48 volt, 25 amp hour. So it doesn't talk about any Samsung cells in it or anything, but it is a very strong battery, and it has the rear motor here that is a 1,000 maximum output and 750 watts, but it's able to go 30 miles an hour plus, and it really rolls. It has a throttle system up here that you can twist, or it has what I prefer now. The best design for e-bikes is the cadence engine, cadence motor. What is a cadence motor? It is a motor that doesn't require you to pedal very hard to where you finally reach ghost pedaling, similar to where you feel like you don't even have a chain on, to maintain the speed that the electric bike motor can give you. That's called a torque sensor motor. With the cadence motor, all anyone has to do is barely move the pedals. Just keep your legs going, and you will get all the speed that the motor can give you depending on what mode you're in. You have, let's turn it on right here, and this thing will light up, and it's on 1. So right now, if I were to use the throttle, or if I were to start pedaling, the bike would go, and all I have to do is barely pedal, and it will go as fast as it will possibly go in 1. And then you go to 2 and all the way up to 5. And when you get to 5, again, just barely pedaling, it will give you all it's got with that big battery and this maximum output of a 1,000 watt motor. I think it's a 750 motor, but something about 1,000 watts that it can also do. And it screams. It's so fast. Everyone that's reviewed it, and take a look, you've got a brake light on here and a tail light. You have this, I mean, you have no idea. At night, that is a super bright light. It's not just for like, hey, here I come down the road. This is a light. And you can turn that off if you want to save a little bit of your battery. You can go a long ways on, here's the light switch right there. You just push that. I believe it's off now. Let me see. There you go. And then you have, it still has a halo light, which is really cool. And that's for your daytime riding where people can see you, even at dusk, if you don't need the headlight, say on a full moon night, or you're somewhere where you're not too concerned about it. Also, it has a very, like I said, the battery is so big, it has a switch on the battery. And I forgot about that. I was trying to turn the power on a moment ago and it wouldn't come on. I'm like, oh, is the battery dead? Did it lose its charge? Of course not. It's lithium. So I remembered it has a switch. This is the only battery I've ever seen that has this too. You can just turn the power off. And then when you turn it on, there's a test button that you can press. Is that? Oh no, that's the charging port. I'm sorry. This is where you actually plug in the bike. Well, anyway, that little rubber piece comes out. There's a plug that goes in. But there is, here it is, right up here. So look at that. It goes all the way to full. And it's been sitting, going on a month, or a few weeks anyway. It hasn't lost any charge. And you have these shock absorbers. Look at this on the suspension. And look at this shock absorber. This is different, right? Most of these e-bikes only have this front fork dampening adjustment. It doesn't have this rear suspension. And like I said, it has a motorcycle style center stand. And when you sit on it, it is not a small bike. This is not a tiny bike. It fits someone. I'm 5'10", and I can be just barely flat-footed to the ground when I sit on it. So anyway, it's a fantastic bike. It's in this, you know, stealthy flat black color, and with that camel type colored seat. And like I said, the red really pops against the black that's in the rims. I heard a YouTuber point out that the spoke rims are better for off-roading and more flexible than a mag wheel, even though a mag wheel could be considered more handsome. But this is the traditional spoke. And if you deflate the tires from around 18 or 20 pounds, which I have now, to about 10 to 12, and you get a good squash on them, if you want to ride trails or go to the beach, I'm here in Florida, and you want to ride on the sand, it'll go over the sand like a boat over water. A significant difference. If you're going to do any off-roading trails with a 4-inch balloon tire, fat tire they call it, on any of these e-bikes, drop your tire pressure. Get it down to 10, 12 pounds, you know, enough where you're not going to, you know, but if they're low, it's harder to get a flat, and it stays above the sand a lot better. So anyway, this is the EUYbike. I'll put a link in the comment section. I'll pin it, and in the description box of where you can pick one up. They did give me a discount code, and I'll put that in there. Hopefully it hasn't expired. You can try it to see about buying it for the very lowest rock bottom price. Speaking of price, this e-bike has been rated, have been reviewed and promoted as probably the very best value on the market today. The e-bike business has really took the market by storm here in the US, and a lot of people are buying them. You see them everywhere, I'm sure. And they were $2,000, they were $1,700, or they're $1,500. And this one here can be procured for probably somewhere closer to the $1,000 range, or a little over. And what you're getting for that amount of money, between the lighting and the battery, the suspension, the style. Also, I forgot to mention these high-rise handlebars. This makes it so comfortable to ride. You're not leaned over. You don't have weight on your palms like a lot of the bikes do. This one, you're sitting upright. You got this, I don't know, I call it a banana seat, but this traditional motorcycle moped style riding. You get the fenders, front and rear they're including. It has the hydraulic brakes. These are not mechanical brakes. They are hydraulic. You've got the lights. There are no turn signals, but you've got running lights, brake lights, headlights. And it's just a traditional controller. It's nothing fancy, but it does have, I'll show you, if I turn it on, and it has all these different modes and features. And what we'll do is we'll go down to 0. That means that you can only pedal the bike now. No matter what you do, if you throttle it or pedal, you're not going to get any motor because it says 0. And then you can change, let me see which one does it. That just goes up. Maybe it's the M button here again. Hang on. Yep. So now let me put my see rights on so I can see right, and I'll show you. All right, now it's on the trip odometer. See, and I'm going to press this M button again, and we get the voltage. And you can see it's got 51.4 volts right now. I think full charge it has 52 volts. And then this is the current. I guess when you're going, it's probably showing you how much voltage you're pulling at the speeds or the hill you're on. And here's a timer that automatically starts every time you turn the bike on. It just has an elapsed time that you've been on. And then there's the odometer. And as you can see, it can count thousands of miles. Do I have 5 miles? It's more than a half a mile. I have 5 miles on it for sure. So that's probably the miles. And then here's the trip odometer again. And then back to the volts and the current. And now we have the timer. And we'll just leave it on odometer. And then up here you have, oh, does that change too? No. All right, I think there's a special setting that I do have saved in my YouTube videos about how you can go to like expert settings, you know, advanced settings. Let's get back to, yeah, I'll leave it on volts. I think when you get down to 42 volts, somewhere in there is when the battery's going to be really getting low. You have the battery indicator right here, which is showing full, and you want to keep an eye on that. Current speed. Okay, so this is just the odometer, miles per hour, and I guess it has a point, like 1.5 miles an hour. And this is the SB30 controller that could probably be Googled to find out what you got. Now these brake systems in here, mineral oil, so these are fluid in the brakes. They're real hydraulic brakes. They're Logan brakes. And also someone pointed out on YouTube that I want to point out as well. In the beginning, when these were first introduced, they had a 160 millimeter brake rotor. They are now 180, and if I roll the bike, you can see that. Let me see if I can find it back here on the rear, where it is stamped somewhere. There it is, right there, folks. 180. And look at these brakes. Look at this. This is a lot of technology here. You got the motor, and what is this? Oh yeah, there you go. 48 volt, 1,000 watts, folks. 20-inch bike. This is not a 750. This is a big motor. So you're getting a lot of bike here. That's why it's so fast. It's a brand new. I love it. And you've got these reflectors in here in your pedals. It came very simple to build. I basically just had to put the front tire on and the handlebars and mount the headlight. I believe the front fender I had to mount too. Simple. And also there was a con when these first came out that they had a side stand, and these pedals were hitting. In fact, this pedal's hitting the frame. Why is that? That's not good. Look at that. That's new. Something I've done since I put it in the back of my truck. I'm going to investigate that. Yeah, it's kind of touching there. Oh yeah, it's going to make a mark. Just made one right now. So I'm going to figure that out, why that happened. But it's not a big deal. I can fix that. I'll get the old BFH out. The big freaking hammer. Yeah, there you go. 25 amp hour, 48 volt. So I would say look into it, folks. If you're going to get an e-bike, consider it. I'm going to take a ride now. I've got a little gizmo I hook on here. I'll put my iPhone in there and I'll video for you. I'll put my microphone on so you won't have any wind noise. And we'll just take us a ride over to the Boynton Inlet and just see what we got. So hang in there.